Dela writes, my envies, welcome.
Envy will swallow you if you do not leave Naomi and Tadenikawo alone. Now, I'm going to come out and let you understand clearly that fighting Naomi is one thing, but fighting Tadenikawo, my son, is another thing entirely. I do not have time to continue to, make sense, trying to make sense out of your level of envy. You don't want your son to come back to Ile-Ife, that is your problem. You want your son to come back, that is your problem. Wherever you want to take your son to, take your son to. But for you to continue to fight Tadenikawo, who is a child, who has nothing, to do with you, is one thing that I will never, ever take. And I have told you. If you are not careful, you will be swallowed by envy. Envy is going to swallow you. And this is exactly what is going to happen. They say the Ooni of Ife is busy raving and ranting at Ebony over the Ebony's level of, envy towards Naomi that has, overgrown to affecting Tadenikawo right now. What is going on? We have heard about the Ibiri ritual that is supposed to carry, they are supposed to carry out in the palace that has to do with Ooni of Ife's son, which is Tadenikawo. Now, and traditionally, Tadenikawo is the first son of Ooni of Ife, and they are just supposed to go ahead and do that ritual for Tadenikawo. But now what we are hearing is that Ebony has gone ahead to go and bring this issue before the Odua traditional court, that the court allows, Odua, that is Ile-Ife, custom allows Kabiyesi to present more than one child. Now, if Kabiyesi is not presenting Tadenikawo, it is because Kabiyesi is still playing favorite. And favorite. And the reason why she's saying this is because not long ago, they had cancelled Kabiyesi that if Kabiyesi must allow, things to continue to go well in that palace, Kabiyesi must treat everybody equally. That if Kabiyesi must take away envy out of the palace of the Ooni of Ife, Kabiyesi must treat everybody, all his wives, equally. And they want all the women to be happy so that they don't have to worry about who is doing this and who is doing that. That the reason why they keep trying to bring things that is not in conformity with the culture or custom and tradition with the Ile-Ife people into the palace is because they are trying to get the attention of Kabiyesi. That if Kabiyesi will love them and show them love equally and not show some love and, abandon some, that all of those envy and all of those problems is likely to cease, right? And so now they said this is what the people of Ile-Ife, as in the traditional people, even the Gise family, had to say to the Ooni of Ife. Now, talking about Olori Naomi, the Gise family knows how important Naomi is to the ruling house, that is the family. So they don't joke with Naomi. They separated Naomi and they did everything possible to ensure that Naomi and the Ooni of Ife, they reconcile, and they said other wives can stay together, other wives can be happy, other wives need to stay in the palace, because one of the biggest fight they have had is being who stays in the palace and who doesn't, and nobody wants to leave the palace. And now that they said they are building a very a big royal palace, another palace for as in a new place where Ooni will be staying with Queen Naomi, everything went well. So right now, when everybody was so happy that everything is going to happen, nobody will have to worry again, the Oloris will not have to fight over anything again, then boom, we had this thing that just happened right now, that Ebony started fighting over a position of Morolade, that's the son, and Tadenikawo. When Tadenikawo, of course, everybody knows that Tadenikawo is the first son of the Ooni of Ife. Everybody knows that if there is anything that has to do with the first son, it should not be, with any other person than Tadenikawo. But Ebony has been fighting. So Ebony has explained to the entire world that their culture allows Ooni of Ife to pick more than one child. The reason why she's fighting for her child happens to be because from time immemorial, any child whose footprint has been presented, that child gets to be very successful, gets to be the best. But who is that father who will have a child and not want that child to be successful? Ooni of Ife chose Tadenikawo alone because that is Tadenikawo's birthright. Bringing other people to come and compete that space with Tadenika will be very, very unfair because yes, you want to bring competition, and by the time Ooni of Ife brings other children, bring their footprint, this is how these women will start, causing wahala all over the place again because that competition continues. And if Ooni of Ife would do something like this, what that would mean is that Ooni of Ife will be encouraging that competition. Ooni of Ife will be encouraging problems in the palace, and apparently the monarch knows, and that is why he is not ready to continue in that trajectory. So right now, as we are hearing, if the information is true, we are hearing that Ebony has gone to go and register this complaint to the Odua traditional court on why Kabiyesi does not want to present Morolade to, for the blessing, because they call this exercise they are supposed to, that they're about to do now is a blessing. That said is a fatherly blessing from the Ooni of Ife, and that blessing is meant for the first son of the Ooni of Ife. But Ebony doesn't want to hear that Tadenikawo is the first son because in her own mind, I don't know if this is a psychological problem or what it is, but Ebony feels like because Tadenikawo's mother is not royalty by birth, and so she deserves better, her son deserves better than Tadenikawo. Who thinks that way? Who behaves like that? Like, what kind of behavior is that? What kind of thought process is that? And so because of that, the son deserves better, and the son should be brought forth with Tadenikawo. Thereby, the father is supposed to kind of encourage some kind of competition, which the Ooni of Ife is not ready to encourage right now. This is what we are hearing. It's not a small problem. And now Ooni of Ife got so angry where he said to Ebony that jealousy will swallow Ebony, that Ebony will fight and fight and fight. Ebony will never ever beat Queen Naomi. That fighting Olori Naomi is one thing, but fighting, waging a war against Tadenikawo is one thing that he would never take, that he would never ever take it for one day. That Ebony had threatened that if this does not happen, she's not bringing Morolade to the country. You know that they are supposed to welcome them, I think this December, this December or January, they're supposed to welcome them back. And so she said, if this does not happen, she's not bringing Morolade. And the father said, okay, if you're not bringing the child, leave the child to stay in the UK. So I'm going to bring you more update. It's not a small something, but do not forget, these are all alleged, rumored, and speculated information making the rounds on social media.